Welcome to Tourism Talk. I'm Laura Oswald, Director of Marketing at the Paducah Visitors Bureau. In historic downtown, the landmark 1905 Market House stands at 2nd and Broadway. Just on that corner, you'll find Yeiser Art Center, which features a wide range of visual art exhibitions throughout the year and presents many other wonderful cultural events. Today, in case that red yak hasn't drawn you inside, we will take you behind the scenes with Executive Director Lexi Milliken and Project Manager Will Brandon. Thank you all for being with me today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I know, Lexi, you've been here before. Will, we're so glad to have you join us.
Yeah.
And would love for you all just to start by telling us a little bit about yourselves and how your roles have progressed at Yeiser.
Well, I've been with the Yeiser Art Center for just over 2 years now in the role of executive director. So I've got a couple of exhibition seasons under my belt, and I'm just, excited to keep going and helping the art community here as much as I can.
Yes, and you are an artist yourself.
Yes, I am. Yep, I work mainly in textiles.
Yeah, and some of our viewers may remember you from the Saboris y Saberis episode. You were part of that delegation and presented your work in Mexico, one of our fellow creative cities.
Yes, and that was an amazing opportunity and a really great trip. And I think the things that came out of that trip just have helped me in my position. A better understanding of some of our fellow UNESCO creative cities and the work that they're doing has been really beneficial.
Yes, well, thank you so much for being part of that global community. And Will, now you're joining the team.
Yeah.
Tell us about yourself.
So I've been involved a couple different things with the Yeiser for close to around 2 years now as well. Kind of working on the board, working on the festival that we'll talk about later. But I joined the Yeiser as an employee in August of last year. And so it's been a lot of fun. It's been really cool. Paducah born and raised, so pretty crazy about everything Paducah related. But it's been really awesome to get into the art world and working with Lexi. She's the best boss you could ask for. But we do so much with the community, and it makes me so excited, and I feel so lucky to be a part of it.
Awesome. Well, we're going to jump deep into all of that. And I know you mentioned the festival, the Lowertown Arts and Music Festival, which Yeiser does present. We'll get a little deeper into that and talking about how that's part of your mission. But first, what is your mission, if one of you will share that?
Well, we want to both support local artists and bring outside artists to our community in order to help with things like education and public art and host art exhibitions so that we can just continue to diversify the art culture in Paducah.
Yes, love that. And you do that through certainly some annual exhibitions that people may know, some long-standing exhibitions. Let's talk about a couple of those.
Yeah, we have Fantastic Fibers and Art Through the Lens are two of our international juried exhibitions that have been going on for quite a long time. We get submissions for both of those shows from all over the world, which is really incredible. We have these world-class exhibitions right here in Paducah. Yes. Both of those shows, we end up with, literally hundreds of submissions from artists, and we are able to show, it depends on the size of the work, but usually between 50 to 70 pieces in each of those exhibitions.
And always a really wide range, and I think for people that have not been to Yeiser, it is an incredible space, and you all do transform it with each of these exhibitions. Fantastic Fibers, tell us a little bit more about that. It is very wide-ranging, I think. What kinds of things do people see? It's not just the traditional quilts.
Right. Well, Fantastic Fibers actually started as, it was like a fashion exhibition. And it kind of morphed into a more modern version of fiber art. So it does include things like quilts, but there's also, sculptural felted wool or, maybe like embroidery, things that are kind of classic, but there's a contemporary twist on them.
Yes. Well, we'll certainly encourage people to check you all out online to find more information about what exhibitions are coming up and events. Where can people find Yeiser?
Yeiser.org is our website.
Perfect. And social media, you all are very active, so look for the Yeiser
Facebook
there.
and Instagram.
Great.
And it's Yeiser.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yes.
And the other exhibition you mentioned, people may know as Paducah Photo, which
Right.
it was for quite a long time, and now has transitioned to the new title, Art Through the Lens. So that is what it says, Art Through the Lens, photographic works typically.
Right. And Art Through the Lens was similar to Fantastic Fibers in a way that it kind of started out as one thing, but it has such a long history. It has kind of changed to reflect the needs of artists now. So again, that's a large international juried exhibition. We get incredible submissions, and we also have a regional showcase. Since it did start out as a regional photography show, we want to still honor that. So we have a specific area where we have work from those local photographers.
Yes. Awesome, awesome. Well, Will, tell us a little bit about some of the other types of exhibitions that you all offer.
So we have, throughout the year, we always have something different rotating. Lexi's busy booking exhibitions years in advance all the time, but every year we have our annual member show. That's usually kind of how we kick off the year. And so if you're a member of the Yeiser, you pretty much get a piece of your choice or more into the exhibition. Usually there's not a theme, that we take all different mediums. We have so many incredible artists who are part of the Yeiser. And then also every year we do an exhibition called Teen Spirit, which is dedicated to showcasing the artwork of local high school students around the whole region. And it's so incredible to see all of the talent of the children around here, not just professional artists, some of them are so good you'd never be able to tell the difference. So it's awesome to be able to promote an opportunity for people to kind of get their feet in the water and showcase all of that. It's awesome. It's one of our favorite things to do.
Yeah, and those are, personally, a couple of my favorite exhibitions because you do get to see, you hear about Paducah's working artist community. People like Lexi who are local artists, but then to get to see such diverse representation of that. You all do a great job with that show.
Thank you.
Both of those shows. Teen Spirit, I think, is a great segue into talking about your educational programs. Lexi?
Yeah, we have multiple different educational opportunities at the Yeiser throughout the year. We have summer camp classes. In the summer, we do those in collaboration with Make Studios. And then we also have different educational programming with each exhibition. So sometimes that might be an artist talk or a workshop or a special, pop-up event. Those are sometimes free when, we have sponsorship or maybe through a grant. And then other times we have a small fee for some of those educational opportunities.
Awesome. And again, Yeiser.org is a great place to find all of those. And we love that you've added an educational component that goes along with the exhibitions. I think that enhances the experience for a viewer to be able to take it to the next level.
Right, and some of the artists, that's an important part of their practice is they want to maybe be able to host a workshop on one of their, processes, or they want to, even just talking about their work can be, very educational and kind of open up people's mind to new things.
Yes, and so you have the gallery space. What else is going on in that end of the market house?
Well, we have a major event that we put on now, the Lowertown Arts and Music Festival, and that also is a way that we can incorporate educational opportunities. So we have an area there that's the Children's Pavilion that has entertainment for kids, and then also some activities that are free. And then throughout the festival, we have different nonprofits that sponsor areas where people can maybe try a different, art activity. So Paducah School of Art and Design always has a fun activity, and then there's other different interactive art pieces throughout the festival.
Sure. And of course, many people know the Lowertown neighborhood as the artist relocation area. So there are the great working artists, but then this brings in other visual artists from out of town. What does that kind of visual art program look like? And then I'll let Will talk about the music side of things.
Yeah, so we want to highlight regional artists for the festival. So we do have a radius for our artists, but then, you know, we can also support people that still live in the Lowertown neighborhood that are artists or just in our community. So we have a wide range of artists. You know, there are people coming from Nashville or, you know, St. Louis, but also artists that are right here in our community. And we usually have between 50 and 100 artist booths. So just kind of depending on the year, that can vary.
Yes, and that reach is similar, I would say, on the music side, correct?
Yeah, we highlight, we do our best to highlight some of the awesome local musicians that we have throughout just our general performances, and we also have after parties as well that are kind of our own events. But we have 3 different stages throughout the festival for music and performances. At the Children's Pavilion area, we have a lot of performers like dance schools and some of the martial arts schools and things like that. And then we have kind of our Harrison stage, which is more of the singer-songwriter type of thing, a little bit, people getting started or just, you know, single acts. And then our main stage that we have a lot of our big bands and some of our headliners and things like that. But we do our best to mix up not only our local music, but also bring in totally new artists to the area that either people haven't heard of or, you know, sometimes they have heard of. And it's a really good, it's a party. It's a really fun party, and we usually have a lot of, you know, upbeat and just fun music for people to kind of enjoy throughout the whole day.
And it's a great family fun weekend. It's in May each year, so we certainly encourage people to kind of save the date. It's a great time to try to bring family in from out of town and spend some time in our historic neighborhoods and soaking in all of that creativity.
Yes.
Yeah, there's something to do at the festival for everyone in the family. You know, whether you want to look at the artwork, listen to the music, get some tasty food, try some different art activities. It's kind of it works for everybody. You can bring anybody to the festival.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the food. I know that you all have really kind of restructured that Taste of Paducah area and highlighting local food and drink.
Right. Yeah, we work with some local and regional breweries and wineries, and also people that offer different food options, so that we can highlight kind of, you know, all of the good things in our region. So art, music, food, and drinks is what we really want to be able to expose people to.
Awesome. And this does seem like a great fit with Yeiser's mission to have taken on the Lowertown Festival, which has been around for many years. How did that partnership come about, that Yeiser is taking the lead?
Well, the partnership was actually before I came on at the Yeiser, but I think it was just kind of a natural progression. I think that the city had been a big part of running the festival for a few years, and then it was kind of taken over by some local artists. And I think, you know, they wanted a way to help the Yeiser and kind of give us this bigger platform. So, you know, it was kind of passed on in that way. So it's a way for us to provide like a great free festival for the community, but also a way for us to do some fundraising. You know, so we of course have festival merchandise and different things for sale at the festival. People can, you know, leave their donations, and that goes back into the educational programming at the Yeiser Art Center.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, one thing we do have to jump back to music just to talk about. We've been celebrating the Year of Kentucky Music here in the state, and Will, you gave us some great insights on how the Lowertown Festival plays a role in that we featured on our blog, the Paducah.travel blog. But I'd love for you to share just a little bit more insight. You had such great perspective on why this matters, that we celebrate our music and that authentic heritage.
We are, as most people know, we're a UNESCO Creative City. We have so much talent here, homegrown, that even if we weren't able to bring anyone else in or anything with both artists and musicians, we can highlight. We have enough talent and enough wonderful people, and our culture here in Paducah, everyone is so tight-knit and everything has a very community feel. So you can go out, you know, anytime, you know, not involving the festival, and there are tons of music venues in town, and it's almost always packed no matter who's playing or whatever. So we do we're so thankful to have so many artists that want to come, and we've occasionally even had people release their CDs and their EPs and their albums and things, either at one of our after parties or during the festival or our various different stages. So it's so important to us to be able to help these people and give them a venue, and it helps us. But we're fans of the music in our region as well, and it's a treat for us to be able to work with these people.
Yes, and kind of facilitating that. I feel like you talk about kind of facilitating that connection with local artists and those outside artists, kind of making that wider regional connection, which seems like what Yeiser does year-round. So. What a special thing to celebrate, and I think I would encourage people to go see Will's Words and some of our other music venues weigh in on what that local music culture is all about. Tell us a little bit about what your vision is as you all do move forward with Yeiser. Lexi?
Well, we want to keep building on the history because, of course, we're the oldest arts organization in Paducah. We were formed in the 50s and moved into the Market House building in the 60s. And we have this great history that Mary Yeiser and others created. So we want to keep building on that. And moving forward, we have a great permanent collection that we're working to be able to give people more access to for educational purposes and just to enjoy. And we want to continue our annual exhibitions that are so important to our calendar. And of course, we always are trying to build on our educational programming to offer as much as we can to the community.
Absolutely. Will, anything else to add?
I think Lexi touched on it. The most important word is access. We do everything that we can to make sure that anything we do is able to be reached by almost anyone in the community. We never have anything that's too expensive, and like she says, that most of the time a lot of the things that we do are free, and it's for the community, and so it's so important to us to be able to have a chance for people to not feel worried or see new things without leaving town. Sure. And we always try to have something new, so it's always a new experience for everyone else.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, speaking of access, obviously the exhibitions, the festival, let's talk about some of those other ways that locals can get plugged in. Some of the innovative events that you all have done recently. Tell us a little bit about some of those. I think about your Bizarre Art Sale. You all have done some really interesting things. Let's give a peek into some of those events. Yeah, well,
we're always, of course, as a nonprofit, we're always trying to do different kinds of fundraising and different ways of engaging people. So we had our Holiday Bazaar and Bake Sale, which was really fun. We had that for the first time, and I think that'll be an annual tradition. And then, we participate in a lot of other festivals and events that are happening downtown. We like to partner with other nonprofits here. That's a great way for us to have access to the community and for the community to have access to us. And if people want to get involved, we always want volunteers. We always need lots of help with the festival. So you can always sign up to volunteer. Sometimes we have internships available. Yes. We want to encourage people to become members of the Yeiser. Like Will mentioned, if you are a member, there's lots of benefits, one of which is being able to participate in the member show. So, there's a lot of different ways to be involved.
Awesome. And you all do partner very well within the community. I think of yoga events you've done in the past. A very, very wide range. So I'm assuming that there are opportunities for some rentals of the space as well.
Right, we do have the gallery available just depending on the exhibition or what we have going on in there, but we have the space available to rent, and then we also do host sometimes, like you mentioned, we did a yoga class. Again, if there's space in the gallery to do something different that will engage people in a different way, those are the kinds of things that we love to do.
Yeah, and as, I guess, being an artist yourself, why do you feel that matters so much to engage people and expose people in different ways?
I think that, not everybody wants to just come in and look at artwork, and that's fine. There are other ways to kind of learn about art or to just be around art, and it doesn't have to just be looking at it. You don't have to have an education in art to appreciate it or to learn about it or to to gain something from it. So it doesn't have to be so direct. There's a lot of other ways kind of into art, one of which might be just doing yoga in a gallery full of art.
I love that. And in your area there, you're right on Market House Square. Tell us a little bit, Will, about kind of when you come down to Yeiser, what is that experience, and kind of what else can you do in the area from your perspective?
I feel like we're kind of right in the middle of everyone. So like just right next door we have places like the Bricolage Art Collective, which has a lot of awesome work. We're right next door to the Paducah Art Guild, which has a great collection of artists throughout the year that's always rotating. We have the Papa Gallery, which is a painting gallery right down the street. Our friends at the CVB are right next door, so we can always come and send people right down there. We're right in between two awesome places to eat, Doe's and Shandy's, gift shops, boutiques, everything. We're lucky to have so many awesome of everything, of all different varieties, that anyone who comes and visits us, we can easily give them a full taste of Paducah almost, just with a short walking distance.
Absolutely.
You
Paducah
forgot
is
to
so
say
walkable.
we're dangerously close to Kirchhoff's.
Yes.
Yes, Kirchhoff's is where I eat about 5 days a week, so I can't believe I didn't mention them.
All of the local flavor downtown is amazing. So we feel lucky that Yeiser is right there in the middle of it all, presenting exhibitions year round. A great way to invite visitors into our creative culture and introduce them to some of these other experiences. But we really do encourage locals to get out and make sure that they're experiencing all that Paducah has to offer. So again, theyeiser.org. Would love for you all to share just kind of some last thoughts about why someone should visit, why this all matters, the work that you all are doing.
So one of the important things, and I don't think we touched on at all, is that in addition to things like the member show and things like that, if you're a member of the Yeiser, you get access to we're part of the North American Reciprocal Museum Program and the Southeastern
Museum Conference.
So it means that just being a member for thousands, and we have access to this on our website as well, but through thousands of museums throughout the whole country, you can either get in for free sometimes, or a discounted rate, or we just having being a part of us. Yeah, we try to help people who are traveling and want to access art all over the country. So that's super important. But the biggest thing is being a local institution and having a lot of these regional exhibitions and things like that. We always try to make it to where we have so many exhibitions that you can literally come and meet the artists at one of our receptions, or they have an artist talk. It's accessible, and a lot of times it's really personal, and that's important to us to be able to not just show someone something, but to actually interact with them and have them interact with the art itself.
We always say in our office, Paducah is very personal.
It's very personal.
That experience is possible here, whether you're a visitor or a local. So I love that you all would encourage that too. Awesome. What about you, Lexi?
Well, I would just say that, I think the health of a well-rounded community is reflected in the arts in that community. So, I think we have a lot of really amazing things here in Paducah, and it's important that people continue to support and engage in those things to continue to have a healthy community. We really we need people to be involved. So we need people to come into the gallery. We need people to come and be members. We need people to come and volunteer. We need people to come and enjoy the festival. If people don't do that, then we can't continue to have these kinds of arts in our community. So it's vital, I think, to the health of our community overall that people are involved in the arts.
And I think touching back on that Saboris y Sabaris experience, we're talking about, the local community benefiting here, but we are part of this greater global community where we're working to address that same goal and mission and trying to work with like-minded cities in that way. And like you said, your experience in Mexico kind of has informed your view of all this. Is there anything else you'd like to say about that, or kind of that UNESCO Creative Cities platform that we have?
Well, I think just, going on that trip, I was able to see how much, their hospitality really made such a big difference for our visit. Seeing the way they treated their visitors and welcomed us and showed us around, it just made me understand how important that is for us to do. Again, to help the arts continue to grow here. When we get artists that come in from out of town, we try to give them that same treatment. We want to show them all the good things that Paducah has to offer so that they'll come back, so that they'll tell people to come here, so that they'll keep talking about Paducah and keep, lifting Paducah up when they're on social media or, just word of mouth. We want them to have a great experience here because we want them to be happy, but we also, we want them to come back here and visit again.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we love that. Word of mouth is so powerful. And we appreciate you all being bearers of that good word and of supporting that in so many ways through Yeiser Art Center and the Lowertown Festival now as well. So thank you both for joining us on Tourism Talk today.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. And I would encourage our viewers to check out the Yeiser.org and of course visit www.paducah.travel for more information about other cultural experiences in Paducah. That Year of Music post, you can learn a bit more about Paducah's local music scene and so much more. Thank you all for watching. We hope you'll tune in and join us again next time.
1, 2, 1, 2, go.